The night had started with roaring cheers, blinding lights, and the unmistakable sound of thousands of ARMY fans singing along in harmony. But no one, not even the most die-hard fans, expected the silence that would descend in the middle of the set. Not a technical glitch, not a dramatic pause, but a heartfelt, unscripted moment between brothers and a mother quietly seated in the front ROW. It happened just after Jungkook's fifth song of the night. The golden magne paused, holding back emotion as he looked toward the front of the audience. "There's someone here tonight," he said, voice trembling. "Someone who means a lot, not just to me, but to every one of us." The crowd fell into an anticipatory hush. Some turned their eyes toward the VIP section, noticing the soft presence of a woman, modestly dressed, trying not to draw attention to herself. It was Jin's mother, Jungkook, standing under the spotlight with a single guitar strapped around his shoulders, continued. "During military life, when everything felt heavy, when the world felt far away, I remembered someone who always stayed by our side, Jin Hyung. And tonight, I want to sing not only for him, but for the woman who raised him." What followed next was a completely unreleased ballad, soft, stripped down, nothing but acoustic guitar and Jungkook's raw, emotional voice. The lyrics spoke of brotherhood, protection, silent sacrifices, and the strength of a mother's heart. Words like, "You stood before me, so I could rest," and "She gave the world her son, and the world was better for it." Fans barely managed to keep their phones steady. Tears streamed across faces throughout the stadium. But what truly marked the moment was the reaction from Jin's mother herself. As the spotlight subtly shifted toward her, cameras caught her wiping tears from both cheeks, visibly moved and overwhelmed. Jungkook ended the performance with a soft, "Thank you," Yamanim directed straight at her. Online, ARMY couldn't stop talking about it. Within minutes, hashtags like #JungkookForJin, #MamaKimCried, and #GoldenMagne were trending globally. One fan wrote on X, formerly Twitter, "I've never seen Jungkook so vulnerable on stage. That song for Jin and his mom, it felt like watching a real family moment." Another commented, "That wasn't just a performance. It was a love letter from one brother to another, and to the woman who made him." Even Jin himself, who wasn't officially part of the concert setlist that night, was reportedly backstage. Insiders claim he was visibly emotional and went to hug both Jungkook and his mother afterward. The moment reignited discussion about the strong bond between BTS members, especially between Jin, the eldest, and Jungkook, the youngest. Fans recalled how during early years, Jin often took a paternal role with Jungkook, helping him navigate idol life, giving him food when he couldn't afford meals, and even helping him with school assignments while on tour. It's no surprise then that this tribute hit such a deep nerve. It wasn't just a concert highlight. It was a family story unfolding on the world stage. The aftermath of that night has sparked global demand for Jungkook to release the tribute song officially. Big Hit Music has not commented yet on whether the song will be added to streaming platforms. But fans remain hopeful, and many agree it's not about commercial release. It's about a moment in time that captured the purest essence of BTS: love, loyalty, and genuine human connection. And in the middle of it all, a mother sat quietly, her tears speaking louder than any words could. While the crowd erupted in applause, with many still visibly emotional from the heartfelt tribute, what happened behind the curtains was even more intimate and possibly more powerful than what had just unfolded on stage. Jin, who had returned from military service several months prior and maintained a relatively low public profile while preparing for his solo projects, had chosen to attend Jungkook's concert quietly and without prior announcement. His presence was known only to a few staff and family members until Jungkook's performance changed the atmosphere entirely. According to multiple staffers present backstage, as soon as the performance ended and Jungkook stepped off stage, he didn't head to the dressing room as usual. Instead, he made a direct path to Jin and his mother, who were waiting just past the curtain, with tears still in his eyes. Jungkook reportedly bowed deeply to Jin's mother, not once, but twice, before embracing her and saying softly, "Thank you for bringing Jin Hyung into this world." She, still teary, simply hugged him back and whispered, "You're my son too." The emotion was too much for Jin, who had remained composed until that moment. Witnesses say he stepped forward, pulling Jungkook into a tight hug and holding him for several long seconds. There were no words exchanged, only the silence of two brothers connected by a bond deeper than years in the spotlight. One of the backstage coordinators shared anonymously, It was one of the most moving things I've seen in my 10 years working with BTS. Jungkook didn't perform that song for the camera or the crowd. He did it for Jin and for her. You could feel how genuine it was. After the emotional encounter, Jin reportedly said jokingly, "Next time, give me a heads up before you drop a song like that," while trying to lighten the mood. But even as he smiled, fans who caught a glimpse of him leaving the venue noted his red, swollen eyes, a testament to the weight of the moment. Online forums and communities were flooded with translated fan accounts, blurry photos from backstage staff, and emotional messages from armies around the world. Fans from South Korea to Brazil, from Indonesia to the US, wrote about how rare and meaningful it was to witness such unfiltered affection among idols, especially in an industry often so tightly scripted. Even RM, the group's leader, took to Weverse hours later to comment, "I wasn't there, but I heard about what happened." This is what makes BTS more than music. It's family. It's heart. Speculation began swirling almost immediately about whether Jin and Jungkook might release the duet Jungkook hinted at in his speech. Fans theorized that the emotional tribute could be a preview of a larger collaborative project, perhaps even a documentary or musical short film. Some even began requesting that the tribute be performed again during BTS Festa or at the next group reunion event. Whether or not that happens, one thing is certain. This moment has already become a timeless memory for ARMY and a benchmark of genuine emotion in the world of K-pop. Beyond the stage, beyond the lights, beyond the choreography, there exists the real heart of BTS, and it beat strongest that night, in the voice of the youngest member thanking the mother of the oldest, and in the embrace that reminded the world why BTS isn't just a band, it's a family. As the final notes of Jungkook's tribute song echoed across the venue and millions of live-stream viewers worldwide, the story had only just begun. By the following morning, major headlines across South Korea and international entertainment outlets unanimously declared it the most emotional moment in BTS's recent concert history. The Korea Herald published a front-page feature titled, "Magne Honors is Hyung. Jungkook's song for Jin breaks hearts around the world." Meanwhile, Billboard ran an article under the title "Family on Stage." Jungkook's unreleased song for Jin leaves fans worldwide in tears. Within 24 hours, clips of the performance had accumulated tens of millions of views across TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. But what set this moment apart wasn't just the song or the performance, it was the presence of Jin's mother. Global fans who had only known her through brief mentions in interviews or fan anecdotes suddenly witnessed her raw, heartfelt reaction in real time. It made the performance personal, human, and deeply resonant. Even for those unfamiliar with BTS's history, Twitter, X, became flooded with posts tagged #Jungkook for Jin, #Jin's mom at the concert, and #BTS family love, trending in over 15 countries. Fans translated every part of the performance, discussed the lyrics line by line, and even shared stories of their own family members crying while watching the tribute. One viral tweet from a fan in the Philippines read, "As someone who lost their older brother, watching Jungkook sing to Jin and his mom broke me. I felt every word. Thank you for showing the world that real love doesn't need to be loud to be powerful." Another post from Japan said, "My mom isn't a BTS fan, but when she saw Jungkook bow to Jin's mother, she whispered, 'That's a good son.' Now she wants to know everything about Jin." Beyond fans, fellow BTS members also expressed their emotions. Jimin posted a photo of the concert stage with no caption, just a single heart emoji. V commented under the post, "That was the most beautiful moment I've ever seen on stage," while Suga, known for his calm demeanor, shared on Weverse, "Tonight, we were all reminded why we started this journey together. Brothers forever." Big Hit Music released an official statement the next day, acknowledging the overwhelming fan response. Jungkook's performance was a personal expression of love and gratitude. "We thank ARMY for embracing it with such sincerity. The moment belonged to the BTS family and, by extension, to every one of you." Privately, a source close to Jin's family told Korean press outlets that Jin's mother was deeply moved and had not known Jungkook would dedicate a song to her son that night. She cried for almost the entire song. She said it felt like hearing a lullaby meant only for her son, but shared with the entire world. It was a gift she didn't expect, and one she'll cherish forever. In response to overwhelming demand, fans began organizing a petition requesting Big Hit to officially release the acoustic tribute song. As of this writing, over 2 million digital signatures have been gathered worldwide in less than 72 hours. Fans have named the song, "My Hyung, My Home." a phrase taken from one of Jungkook's lyrics that night. It's hard to overstate the cultural weight of that night's performance. In an industry often obsessed with perfection, precision, and polish, Jungkook offered a moment of vulnerability that reminded the world why BTS continues to resonate, not just as performers, but as people, and in a twist that only fate could write. Insiders now say Jin has been inspired by the performance to return to the stage sooner than expected. Sources hint that a surprise appearance or even a joint performance may be in the works at an upcoming global event. Whether that happens or not, one thing is certain. Jungkook's tribute didn't just honor Jin. It invited the world into their bond, a bond shaped by years of shared pain, joy, duty, and brotherhood. And sometimes, all it takes is a song, a spotlight, and a silent mother's tears to remind us that behind every global icon is a family, a story, and a love too big for words. For 3 days, Jin remained uncharacteristically silent on social media. Fans speculated that the eldest BTS member was taking time to process the emotional intensity of the concert tribute. While the world buzzed with reactions, remixes, lyric breakdowns, and analysis, Jin's official channels posted nothing, not even a thank you or a reaction photo. But when he finally did speak, it wasn't through a public broadcast or a press conference. It was through a single handwritten note, photographed and shared by Big Hit Music on the official BTS account. And his neat, familiar handwriting, Jin wrote, "There are moments in life when you don't know how to respond, not because you have nothing to say, but because your heart is too full to form words. What Jungkook did for me, no, for us was more than music. It was family. It was love. That wasn't a performance. That was my brother speaking to my soul. And to my mom, who cried more than I've seen in years. Thank you for always being there to witness our journey. I'll never forget that night. Thank you, ARMY, for understanding what can't always be explained." The post broke all previous records for handwritten member notes on social platforms, garnering over 15 million likes in the first 24 hours and being reshared by artists, celebrities, and news personalities worldwide. What stood out wasn't the celebrity aspect, but the raw, unfiltered emotion. One prominent entertainment anchor in Seoul stated during a broadcast, "We often talk about idols as if they are separate from us, like they live in another dimension. But that letter, that hug, that performance, they reminded us BTS is made of people, sons, brothers, and friends, just like us." Backstage footage, later released by Big Hit in a short docuseries clip titled "Behind the Curtain, A Night to Remember," showed the quiet moment after the performance when Jin sat beside his mother, holding her hand in silence. Jungkook, still dressed in his stage outfit, entered the room, bowed, and sat across from them. For several minutes, no one spoke, until Jin's mother broke the silence with a gentle laugh, saying, "You've grown so tall and yet so soft, Kooky." Jin reportedly smiled, turned to Jungkook, and said, "When I left for the army, you were just beginning your solo path. Now you've made history." Jungkook, choking up, replied, "I did it so that when you watched me, you'd be proud." It's no secret that Jin has long played the role of BTS's emotional pillar. While RM may be the group's intellectual compass and Jungkook its golden all-rounder, Jin has always been the quiet comfort, the hyung who cooks, who jokes, who holds things together when the lights go out. So to witness the roles reversed, with Jungkook offering a song not just to Jin but to the woman who raised him, struck a chord that even longtime fans didn't expect. And the days following, international celebrities began expressing admiration for the moment. Jimmy Fallon, who has interviewed BTS multiple times, posted a reaction clip on Instagram with a caption, "If you didn't cry watching that Jungkook moment, you're not human. Come back soon, boys. We miss you at The Tonight Show." Meanwhile, charity organizations in South Korea reported a spike in donations made in the name of BTS family values. One organization, the Seoul Children's Art Therapy Foundation, received nearly 500,000 won in small donations from armies worldwide, all tagged with messages like "For Jin's mother," inspired by Jungkook's song, and "A tribute to love between brothers." Music critics began to call the performance a watershed moment in K-pop stage storytelling, arguing that the use of real emotion and unscripted gratitude had taken performance art to a new level. Yet perhaps the most lasting impact wasn't felt in studios or boardrooms, but in the hearts of fans and families who, even without knowing every lyric, felt deeply connected. A father in Chicago posted a video with his daughter watching the concert, saying, "I don't know their names, but my daughter made me sit down and watch. I cried with her. I held her hand. And after that song ended, I told her I was proud of her, 2. Thank you, Jungkook and Jin. Thank you for reminding me to say the things that matter. Jungkook hasn't officially commented since the concert, but Big Hit insiders have revealed that he spent the night at Jin's family home after the show, eating with his hyung and sharing stories late into the night. Jin's mother reportedly cooked for both of them, saying with a smile, "This time, I'm feeding two national treasures."